This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a business consultant? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our good neighbor, Neetu Rishi, with The Success Store. Neetu, it's great to have you on today. Now, we are so excited to learn more about you and your business consulting company. So let's kick things off here. Tell us a little bit more about how you got started with this and where your love for this industry came from.
First of all, thank you, Sophia, for having me. I love the name Good Neighbor Podcast. It's beautiful. It's good to be neighbors with people. And then because of technology, I feel now we are neighbors to everyone, whether you are in Australia or United States, wherever. It's connected people. Now it's exciting how I started this. I don't think so. I was meant for business because I belong to a family where we all believed in a safe job, paycheck coming and taking vacations whenever you need to. So we always love to have a safe life. But then something happened 10 years ago when I had to move from India to United States because of my husband's project. Now, in India, I was a director training. So I was handling a corporate team. Again, luxury paycheck coming, no worries about it, having a nice sleep at the end of the day. But when I moved to United States, I started applying for the same position. But the hard truth is that when you move into a different country, different cultures, you have to start from the base. So I have to start from zero. That was the time when my daughter was going through a lot of self-doubts because of the new culture, new country, new language. So I started working with her. What do I do? As a parent, you work with your children and figure it out. After enrolling her in many classes, as a parent, I was not satisfied. I was not seeing the transformation. So I decided to navigate her, being her mentor. So I worked with her on her strength areas instead of focusing on what is the areas to improve, and increased her self-esteem. She was good in writing poetry. So we published a book on Amazon. Then she was good in dancing. We launched a YouTube channel. I think by doing those things, she started getting validation from the community, and her strength, her areas of improvement, which was, social anxiety, going in front of people. I think that just went away. She rose up as a confident girl. Now, one of my friends saw this and she said, "Hey, I love the transformation you've done with your daughter. Can you help my son?" Then a nonprofit, they reached out to me. They got to know about me. They said, "Would you like to pilot run a summer program like this where you are helping students to get rid of limiting beliefs and being more confident and good communication?" I said, "Okay, let's do a try." I think in that span of few months, that became my calling. I stopped looking for jobs and I said, this is something which gives me contentment at the end of the day. And I think that just gave me a purpose. And that's how the Success Store was born. Now, where I help students and adults get rid of the self-doubt, build more confidence, and get to where they want to be.
Wow. I love how being a mother really fueled your passion for getting into this industry. Now, in your industry today, what is the most common misconception you come across with what it takes to successfully run a business?
I think there are two misconceptions that I really feel. Now, it's been 7 years running this business. There have always been ups and downs. When you start, you experiment, you apply. First, it started as creating an impact, but then ultimately you start feeling that just an impact with a purpose will not pay your bills. You have to have some motivation, which comes through money, of course. And then I started working on myself. I did certifications with Dale Carnegie. I joined Toastmasters, went up to the international level because, again, you need validation in the community. So with a span of so many years, I think the misconception that now I hear is when you start, you're not famous at all. Hardly people know you. But when you build up your social and digital footprints, when people see me, oh, she is delivering a speech at a stage and she's getting paid travels and she's getting all this, they start thinking it's an overnight success. Even though I share my personal journeys and the struggles through my social platforms, but still, people, what they see, they start assuming. That is one misconception. There is no overnight success. Everyone has to go through ups and downs before they reach at this level. The second misconception that I feel is sometimes people come and say, I think your program is expensive. And where I try to explain it's not about expensive, it's about not being able to transform. If I am taking your child, I'll assure that there will be a transformation. I don't want to charge less and not give you any results because you're trusting your child, your child's life with me. It's life skills, right? It's life. So I think those are two misconceptions that people have that, oh, it's expensive. And then it's an overnight success for me as a person.
100%. And diving in here a little bit deeper, you started talking about your audience. And we know at the end of the day, marketing really is the heart of every business. So ideally, whose lives are you looking to transform and how are you attracting them?
Mhm. So I think my first area is focused on students. As I said, it starts with middle school and then high school students. Those are the two categories that I work with. The second is the adult. Now, in terms of students, it's, I would say, easy because either the word of mouth or when we post on Facebook, we run ads. Parents are looking for those options. They go onto my website, they reach out to me. I do a discovery call, and then I'm able to work with the students. Now, with adults, first of all, we as adults sometimes do not accept that I need that change in my life. For example, the other day, a girl came to me and she said, I'm stuck in a job from past 5 years. Um, every time I try to get promoted, but someone else comes and takes my position, and I'm still stagnant. It's become very monotonous. And then she said, one of my friend told me that I should take a free consultation with you to do an audit. So when I realized that sometimes we think that we are best, and when I started talking to her, people say practice makes perfect, but practice makes you permanent if you're doing a wrong practice. Now, when she was presenting, she was using a lot of filler words, a very simple thing. She said, I never realized that, yes, I need to get rid of filler words to be a better presenter. So that's a very little thing, but it makes a huge difference. So those are two kinds of my audience. Now, your second question was, how do I track?
Yes.
Mostly, I think it is through word of mouth. And second is through social media. I'm very active on social media. For adults, I use more of LinkedIn posts where I share my journeys and stories. And then for students, it's mostly Facebook because parents are mostly on Facebook. And for high school students, they come to me, they approach me directly through Instagram. So I think those are the platforms which I use alternatively.
Wow, Neetu. Now, have you ever thought about having your own podcast for your business before?
So I do run a podcast. In fact, I've done 3 seasons. I'm on my fourth season. I run a podcast where I interview people who have converted their passion into purpose or business because my passion was always working with people throughout my 2 decades of even corporate life. I call myself a passionpreneur. So that's the name of my podcast, which I run through different platforms. And we have done 3 seasons so far.
Wow, that's very, very wonderful. Now, I have to ask you, being a business consultant, what do you wish that people knew more about when it comes to your industry?
I think the first thing the people need to know is the awareness that there is a need of this thing. Now, I'll share this with an example, which makes it easy for our audience to understand. Um, a student who reached out to me 2 years ago, when he was in seventh grade, he was very passionate about traffic signals and he used to make a lot of videos. One of his friend, maybe out of bullying or just as fun, said, when you make these videos, don't show your face because you are ugly. And it feels bad to see sometimes that one line stuck in your head, and that student took it so personally, but he didn't open up. He just kept on piling in his brain, and that made him away and away from making more friends. In high school, he became a little more aloof. But because nowadays parents are all busy in their own jobs, they're trying to save their own jobs. They might not have time or pay that much attention because they feel that yes, when kids are in high school, they love to be more with their friends. But when the student got into college, that's when the problems started coming, and he had to apply for internships, and he was scared. And that's when he shared with his mom that, Mom, this is something I do not know. I can face people. That's when the mom reached out to me. I worked with him. It took me a year, but I was able to bring back his self-esteem and remove those limiting beliefs that was blocking his brain. And then he got a proclamation letter from Mayor of Frisco as well. And now he's doing amazing. So I think those are some of the things. I always feel the parents should have that connection with their child, and parents should be more aware what are the skills which are really needed. We focus too much on academics, extracurricular, getting a good SAT score, ACT score, a good GPA. But those communication skills, those social skills, those little habits, I think if we pay more attention, we can have good humans, and a good human will definitely become a good leader.
Yes, Neetu, I couldn't agree with you more. Now, for those who are ready to make a change in their life, where can they go to learn more about the Success Store?
So we have a whole website, thesuccessstore.com. I'm very much active, as I said. People can check on my Instagram. They can check on Facebook. It's by the name The Success Store. They can easily go on Google and check our reviews, the past students who have shared their experiences. They can get to know the kind of person I am, the kind of culture I believe in, the kind of ethics I follow. And I'm a very simplified coach. And one thing which is famous about me as a coach, where students love me, is I do not give any homework. I believe everything to be done in the class so that they don't go with another pressure of, oh, attending another class, another homework, because students already have a lot of things in their plate. So they can easily find me on the Success Store.
Well, Neetu, I really appreciate you being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com. Or call 469-221-9345.